Hi friends and family, coming to you from Cusco, Peru. Today we're going to be focusing on our hips. The holidays are upon us and it is a time of joy and celebration and also some stress and a lot of activity. And oftentimes our hips are the ones that carry the stress. So we're going to be exploring strengthening and opening our hips today. I want to thank Danny for filming this video. It's quite fancy. And also want to introduce you all to Betty. Betty is one of the dogs owned by Fanny's family, my friend who we're staying with here in Cusco. So you might see Betty running across the camera or joining us at any point. We're at the ruins of Waka Punto right now too, so I'm really excited to be doing this flow in a place with ruins around us, and maybe after the video we'll turn the camera around and show you. But yeah, so find a comfortable position standing on your mat. We're gonna keep our feet hip widths distance apart, so that's about 2/5 fist distance, and you can measure it, can put it in between your feet. And take a second to root yourself into the ground. So feel your 5 toes on the ground, your heel, and then sense like you're making a footprint in the ground and that it's sending energy up through your legs, through your knees, up through the front of your thighs, just feeling energy glimmer through the top of your head. And we're just gonna notice how our body is feeling today. You can soften your gaze, close your eyes, whatever you're comfortable with, but notice where you feel tension in your body today. Just do a body scan from, hi Bethy, from the root of your feet up through your legs to your hips, your belly, your shoulders, your neck, the crown of your head. Where are you carrying some tension today? Where might be some areas in addition to your hips that you want to focus on today? And now we'll take a second to focus on our head space. Are we feeling tired? Are we feeling energized? Is our head space feeling really full, or does it feel like it has room? And just notice with no judgment, just where are you at on your mat today? And now we'll notice our breath. How is our breath feeling today? Can you lengthen your inhales and lengthen your exhales using the capacity of your lungs? You can even bring your hands to your stomach, and when we inhale, feel your belly rise as it fills with air, and as you exhale, it lowers. For this practice today, we'll mainly be breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. If you would like to use Ujjayi breath, it's kind of the feeling of if you're looking at a window and you want to fog it up. So you breathe in through your nose and then you'd fog the window, but you do it with your mouth closed. So it looks like this, sounds like this. And that is a warming breath that can warm your inner muscles as well. So for today's practice, we'll just be inhaling through our nose, out through our mouth, or in through our nose, and Ujjayi breath out through our nose. Now we'll move our hands to our heart. If you would like to place your hands on your heart, or you can place your hands wherever, just notice how your heart space is today. With non-judgment, just notice what feelings that you're carrying. Is there a heaviness? Is there a lightness? And take a moment to set any intentions for this heart space today. We'll take a few more breaths here. Noticing our breath, bringing our attention to the present, how our body's feeling today, how our mind is feeling today, and how our heart is feeling today. And just give yourself permission to show up as you are today. And we'll slowly blink open our eyes, find one thing that you can see around you, one thing that you can hear around you, one thing you can feel, whether it's your feet in the ground or a breeze, anything that you can smell, and anything you can taste to bring you to the present. And we'll release our arms and we'll start with some wrist circles. Circle them in one direction, circle them in the other direction. Bring your hands to your shoulders and we'll do some circles, one direction and reverse. And we'll release our hands and we'll drop our chin down and we'll drop our right ear to our right shoulder. I'm gonna look opposite of you and we'll roll our chin forward. Roll our left ear to our left shoulder and center. We'll repeat, roll our right ear to our right shoulder. Maybe look up to the sky a little bit and lower, lifting and lowering. Breathing into our neck carries so much tension. Release our chin down to the front, left ear to left shoulder. Maybe lift and lower your chin if that feels good. Back to center, and now we'll do full head circles to the right. 4 circles to the right. As slow or as quickly as you want. And reverse to the left. Bring our chin up to center, interlace our hands, and we'll reach them up. And we'll lift over, lean over to the right side. You can stick your left hip out and center. Lean over to the left, stick your right hip out. We'll do that a few times, just waking up our side body, lengthening. Feel the opposite foot grounding you as you reach over to the opposite side. The opposition work can create some extra length. Now we'll release our hands out to the side and we'll form fists and we'll bend them in. And we're gonna rock side to side for some twists. Hola, Betty. ¿Quieres hacer yoga con nosotros? ¿Sí? And now we'll release our arms kind of like we're wearing a jacket and we want the sleeves to wrap around us. Awesome. And slowly find stillness in the center. We'll reach our arms up to the side and up, over to the right. We'll bend our knees and we'll circle down to the front and we'll come up through center. Lift our arms side and up, over to the left, bend our knees, curve down through the front, roll up to center. And now we'll put it together, arms up through the center, over to the right, bend the knees, fall to the front, and now we'll keep going to the left, and we'll come up through center. And we'll reverse to the left, bend our knees, fall to the front, to the right, and come up to center. Hola, buenos días. We'll open up our legs a little bit wider. We'll bring our toes in, and we're gonna reach our chin forward, bring our hands to the ground, and notice just how our first forward fold feels today. If you would like to grab your elbows and rock side to side, you can. If you need to bend one knee and then the other, you can. If you want to bend both knees, just noticing how your hamstrings feel today. We'll walk our hands over to our right foot. You can grab your ankle, your foot, but try to release your head into it. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. Hola, Betty. And we'll walk over to the left. You can grab your ankle, grab your foot, or higher up on your leg is okay too. Just release your head, let gravity do its work. 2 breaths here. And we'll come center, and we'll open up our feet, and we'll come into a goddess pose, and we'll just place our hands here, rock from side to side. Stop in the center, and we'll place our right shoulder down through the center for a twist. Back to center, and now our left shoulder forward. And we'll repeat that. And one more time to the right. One more time to the left. Straighten our knees, walk our feet in. We'll come to the top of our mat. And we'll reach our arms up to the sky. And we'll swan dive, forward fold. We'll step back into a plank. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Notice how your core feels here. Ground your hands into the floor to find Pada Bandha, or Hasta Bandhas with your hands, and then Pada Bandha, feel your 5 toes in the back, and we'll rock forward and back 4 times. Lifting up through your shoulder blades, lengthening through your calves, through your legs, and squeezing your sit bones together to activate your core. Now we'll find stillness. We'll drop the right leg to the ground, the right knee, and lift it, strengthen it, and then left knee bends, straighten, right bends, straighten, left, straighten, right, straighten, left, straighten, right, straighten, left, straighten. And if you would like, you can push back at any time to downward dog, and we'll meet here. For those who want a little bit more core, we're gonna go into side plank. So put all of your weight into your right hand, lift your left arm up, back to center, and now your other arm up, back to center, one more round, back to center, right arm up, back to center. Lift your hips up and push back into downward dog, reaching your heels towards the ground, stretching out your calves. Also pressing your palms and your 5 fingers into the ground, lengthening, reaching the crown of your head towards your hands, while simultaneously your hips reach up and back. And you can bend one knee at a time here, our first downward dog of the day. You can bend both of them. can wiggle your hips from side to side. And then we'll drop our knees to the ground and we'll take a child's pose. So the goal is to have our hips sitting on our heels. If that is hard for you, you can bring your fists on top of each other and rest your head. But ideally, what we're working towards is our hips lengthening towards our heels, extending our arms forward. If this hurts your shoulders, you can also place them behind you. And notice your breath here as we're warming up. Now we'll extend our arms forward and we'll move our hips a little bit forward. We'll come into puppy pose. So our hips are up and our arms are reaching forward and your chin can touch the ground or your forehead. And this is really good to open up our chest, open up our back. Pressing our hands into the ground as we reach our hips back, that opposition. And then sit your hips back and come up to all fours. We'll be in all fours for a little bit here. We want our hands, our wrists underneath our shoulders, and we want our hips in line with our knees. So we have two 90-degree angles. So from here, we'll extend our right foot out and we'll do some lifts and lowers with our right foot. Do 8 of them. Trying not to move anything else in our body but our leg. And we'll keep it lifted and then we'll bend it and we'll push the ceiling with some pulses 8 times. And then we'll lengthen it and we're going to cross it over to the left side of our mat for a stretch. And then we're going to do some rainbows. So rainbows, we're trying to make a rainbow from one side of our mat to the other. So we're going to take our toe and draw a rainbow up and over to the right side, up and over to the left, up and over to the right, up over to the left. Warming up our glutes. Two more. And when our foot is to the right again, we'll place our foot on the ground. I'll turn to face you guys. And we'll come up to this knee. We'll reach our arms to the side. We'll reach over to our right leg for a side stretch. Take a breath here. Come up to center. Reach our left hand to the ground and get another side stretch. And from here, we're gonna place our weight into our left palm. We'll lift our left leg up. We'll do some pulses here, warming up our booties. And then we'll bring our right knee to our right elbow. Do this 4 times. And then we'll drop our knees and we'll come to a child's pose in front. Notice how your glutes feel, how your core feels. And we will come to all fours, the front of our mat, for the left side. So making sure that our wrists are underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. We'll lengthen our left leg. We'll lift and lower 8 times. Keeping our chest lifted. shining our heart forward. And on your 8th one, keep your leg lifted and bend it. Keep your foot flexed and push the ceiling 8 times. We'll lengthen our leg and we'll bring it crossed over to the right side. We'll look at our foot, push our calf, our heel, reaching to the ground for a stretch, opposition stretch. One more breath here. And we'll start our rainbows. So reaching our left toes up and over to the left, and then up and over to the right. Up over to the left, over to the right. However small or big your body needs today. Warming up your hips. Trying to keep the weight even in your hands. Just noticing how the weight transfers. And on your last one, try to do 8. We'll place our whole foot, left foot on the ground, and we'll come up. I'm gonna turn to face you guys. Hello, B. And we'll come up to kneeling. Reach our arms straight out, reach over to our left leg, take a breath here. Come up to center, reach our right arm to the ground for a side stretch. And you can reach your hand up to the sky or over to the right, whatever feels good. Hola, Betty. And from here, we'll place our weight into our right palm. As we lift our left leg up to the side, we'll take 8 pulses here. Trying to lift our leg from our core. And now we'll bring our left elbow to our left knee and lengthen, bend, lengthen, bend, lengthen. And then we'll release our legs and our arms and we'll come forward into child's pose. Thank you, glutes. Feeling them. Relax your head to the ground or place 2 fists on top of each other if that's easier. Take one more breath here. Place your hands on your knees and roll up. And we'll come to our all fours. We'll tuck our toes under, reach our hips back into downward dog. We'll bend our knees, we'll walk our hands to our feet. Hold your elbows here and ragdoll. Release your head. Let gravity do its work. Place your hands on your knees and use them to slowly come up to standing. All right, we're gonna do some sun salutations. So coming to the top of our mat, making sure our feet are hips width distance apart, so 2 fists so we can measure again. Feel the energy rooted from our feet up through our hips to the crown of our head. We'll reach our arms to the side and up. We'll interlace them and reach up, and we'll reach over to the right, center, to the left, center. Release our hands and interlace them behind our back, and we'll lift and lengthen our chest up to the sky, our hands behind us, and we'll bend our knees and we'll fold forward. Release our hands to the ground, step back into a plank, and we'll lower to our bellies. Coming to Sphinx pose, we will place our elbows underneath our shoulders and press our forearms and our palms and our fingers into the ground, Reaching our chest forward, we'll look to the right, center, to the left, look up, center, look down, center. We'll take 2 head circles to the right and 2 head circles to the left. We'll lower down. We'll place our hands underneath our shoulders. Lift up to cobra. Lower to the ground. Now we'll lift our hands to the ground. Hola, Betty. Hola. Sí. Hola. Yeah. So, yeah. Coming into some back exercises. Yeah. Hola, Betty. Yeah. 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 She ran over to Danny. All right, so here we're gonna lift our hands off the ground and we'll lift our back and we'll stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lower to the ground and now off the floor and we'll squeeze them together for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll lower, and now we'll lift our chest and lift our legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and lower, or if you'd like to strengthen even further, we'll lift our arms forward and we'll swim for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower to all fours, and we'll meet in downward dog. In downward dog, make sure your feet are 2 fists distanced apart. We'll lift our right leg up to the sky, and we'll bring our right foot in between our hands for a lunge. Rock forward and back. Come back to downward dog. Lift our left leg up to the sky. Bring our left foot in between our hands. Rock forward and back. Come back to downward dog. Lift our right leg up. Bring our right foot to the outside of our right hand for an open lunge. See how this feels. Make sure that there's a 90-degree angle, that your heel is underneath your knee. We don't want to be too we don't want to be too much forward. We want to make sure that our knee is actually behind our toes. That's safer. Come back to downward dog. Lift our left leg up. Bring it to the outside of our left hand. Make sure there's that 90-degree angle to protect our knee. And come back to downward dog. And Bethy and Danny are having a snuggle party. Right leg up to the sky. We'll bring it in between our hands. We'll make sure that our feet are still 2 fist distance apart. So our feet are not in the same line, they're actually open. So make sure that your back foot and your front foot have 2 fist distance between them. Place our hands on our knee. We'll extend our arms up to the sky. Lengthening our right knee forward and reaching our left heel back. Lengthening our hip. And we'll open up into warrior 2. You might have to move your right foot over so that your heel of your right foot is in line with your arch of your left foot. Feeling energy reaching out across your fingertips. And lift your shoulders and relax them down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, lean forward, place your right elbow on your right knee, extend your right arm up to the sky. Come up to warrior two, reverse warrior. And elbow down to your knee extended, side angle. You can reach your arm up to the sky or over to the right. You can take some wrist circles here or some shoulder circles. And then bring your left hand and your right arm up to the sky for a twist. Bring your right hand down, framing your right foot. Step back into downward dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky, bring it in between your hands. Make sure there's 2/5 distance between your front foot and your back foot. Bring your hands to your knee and reach your arms up to the sky. Lengthening your right heel to the ground while your left knee tries to bend and find more space in your hips. Reaching your arms up to the sky, open up into warrior two. You might need to move your left foot over so that your left heel is in line with the arch of your right foot. Lift your shoulders up and release them down. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come forward to extended side angle. Place your left elbow on your knee. Reach your arm up to the sky. Lifting up through your chest. You don't want to be scrunched down. You want to lift up. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. You can do some wrist circles here, or shoulder circles. We'll place our right hand on the ground and extend our left arm for a twist. And bring our left hand to the ground, framing our foot. Step back into downward dog. Bring our spine forward into a plank. Lower to chaturanga or to our belly dog. All fours, back into downward dog. If you're more advanced, feel free to take whichever vinyasa flow you need to today. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Bring it forward between your hands, making sure your feet are 2 hips width distance apart. Reach your hands up to the sky. And we'll place our left heel on the ground. We need to move our right foot over so our heel is in line with our back foot. We'll release our arms down, interlace our hands behind our back. We'll lengthen our arms, reaching our chest up. Proud warrior, and reach our chest forward and warrior. Trying to touch our right shoulder to our right knee and reaching your hands up to the sky as much as you can. Reach your nose forward and up. Come to proud warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Forward fold. Humble warrior. Inhale, come up. Reach our arms up to the sky and open to warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come into triangle pose. So place your hand on the ground if you can reach, or on a block. And as much as you can, try to straighten your right leg. You can bring your back foot in a little bit if you need, or you can keep it open. And take your left hand and place it on your right ribs. Try to twist and turn your ribs open as much as you can, twisting and opening your chest and your ribs. Bend your front knee into a 90-degree angle. Move your left heel back, come up into warrior two. Reverse warrior. And circle your right hand to the ground, left arm to the ground, and we'll lift our right hand up for a twist. Come back to center. We'll bring our knee to our chest, and then we'll cross it over to the left for fallen star. Here, we can bring our right hand underneath our shoulder. You can swing your left foot down and open up into a fallen star. You can reach that left heel down to the ground for more stability. And come forward. And additional stretch here. Lengthen your heel and your calf back. While your leg is still straight, you can push back and come forward. This is a really good IT band and glute stretch. If you want to walk your hands forward and bring your hip all the way to the ground, you can. And we'll meet in downward dog. Finding a stable downward dog, we'll lift our left leg up. And we'll come forward in between our hands. Make sure our feet are hips width distance apart. Reach our arms forward and up into crescent pose. Place our right heel on the ground. Move our left foot over to make sure that our left heel is in line with the arch of our back foot. Release our arms behind our back and switch the interlace. If your right fingers were forward first, maybe try interlacing with your left fingers first. Reaching your heel to the ground and bending this front knee forward. Reach your arms back, lengthen your chest up for proud warrior. Inhale and forward fold into humble warrior. Trying to touch your left shoulder to your left knee. And reaching and lengthening your arms behind you while your chest reaches forward towards the ground. Inhale, come up to proud warrior. Exhale, forward fold to humble warrior. We'll take another breath here. And we'll come up to proud warrior, arms reach up, open to warrior two. Making sure our front foot is in line with our back arch. We'll reverse warrior. And we'll come into triangle pose. So placing your left hand on the ground, you might need to walk your back foot in. You can also take a block for more length and try to strengthen and lengthen your left leg into triangle pose. Even if your foot is bent here, what's important is this length. We don't want to be crushed. We want to be lengthening out of the shoulder. Bend your knee, come up to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Circle your left arm to the ground, right arm to the ground, and come to a twist. Left arm reaches up. Bring your left arm to the ground. Bring your left knee to your chest and cross it over to the right. Rotate your right heel to the ground and lift your right arm to the sky for fallen star. Feeling your hand push into the ground, lifting up through the armpit. Inhale, exhale, bring your right arm down. Swivel your foot so that your weight is in your toes and push your heel back. Kind of like doing a downward dog, but while your left leg is across. And then you can come forward into a plank, push back, whatever feels good on your IT band. Hola, Betty. And then you can lower your hips to the ground. Just got snuggle attacked. And can stay here or stay here, whatever feels good. And we will meet in downward dog. Take 2 breaths here. Come into plank, lower to chaturanga, upward dog or low cobra, and come back into downward dog. Lower to your knees, walk your hands out into puppy pose. And from here, you can place your forehead on the ground or your chin, and like forehead, and you can bend your elbows, bring your hands behind you for tricep stretch. One more breath here. Release your hands to the ground, come up into all fours, push back into downward dog. Reach our right leg up to the sky, come forward into crescent pose, bringing our hands to our hips for warrior 3. So extending our arms forward, we're gonna start rocking forward and back. You might need to walk your foot front, but start playing with balance, trying to make a footprint in the sand. And then we'll reach our arms forward, reach our leg back, and we'll come into warrior 3. Ooh. Keep holding warrior 3 if you can, or if you need to take a break to snuggle a dog, that's okay too. Vinyasa said warrior 3. Yeah, she's got a lot of puppy energy still. So coming into warrior 3, making a footprint with your foot in the ground, extending your heel back. Your arms can be forward or behind you or in heart center. You can have a slight bend in your knee so it can adapt to the changes in gravity. We'll stay here for 2 more breaths, inhaling, lengthening. Exhale and root your foot into the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lengthen. Exhale, stabilize, sorry. Bend your front knee, bring your left foot down to earth. Lift your hands up to the sky, open up into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. You can place your right hand on the ground if you'd like. 2, reverse warrior. Cartwheel, circle your hands back down to the ground. Come to a twist. Bring your right hand back down. Step into downward dog. We'll take a few breaths here in downward dog, lengthening your heels to the ground, stabilizing your hands, reaching your hips up and back. Take one more breath here. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky, bring it between your hands. Bringing your hands to your knee. Also, before, make sure that your feet are 2 fist distance apart for stability. Preparing for warrior 3. We'll reach our arms and our spine forward, and we'll start rocking our weight into our front foot. We'll reach our arms forward, our leg back, kicking our heel into an imaginary wall behind us, while our left foot underneath our hips makes a footprint in the sand. There can be a slight bend in that knee to adapt to gravity. Hands can be an airplane or in heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ground. Bend the front leg, reach our arms up. Open up into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, come into triangle pose. It can be hand on the ground, or you can use a block. One more breath here. Reach our right arm down to the ground, left arm up for a twist. Bring our left hand down to the ground. Step back into downward dog. Reach our heels down, our hands stabilizing us for our last downward dog. Come forward into plank and we'll lower for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You can bring your hands behind your back for a shoulder stretch. Look to the left, look to the right, and we'll release our hands. We will take a shoulder stretch, so we'll open our arms out to the sides like we're in an airplane. We'll bend our left foot and we'll reach it up towards our right palm, and our gaze, we can look at our left hand. Opening our hips, feeling a shoulder stretch in the right. Hi, Danny. Come back to center. And switch. Right leg bends, up and over. And look over at our right hands. Oh, Betty, you're chilling. Just gazing out at the views. We're looking at the Andes. And we'll come back to center. Place our hands underneath our forehead for a little pillow. We'll bend our left leg for a thigh stretch. So we want our knees to touch each other. And you can push your pelvis forward. Actually, your knees can be a little open. Knees is a tricky thing. It's different for everybody. But you can push your pelvis into the ground for an additional quad stretch. Try to take 2 breaths in every stretch, if not more. And switch. Bend your right knee for a quad stretch, pushing your pelvis forward into the mat for an additional quad stretch. Release our leg, place our hands. We'll push up into all fours and then back into child's pose. We'll walk our hands over to the right. Try to sit our left glute, our left hip down, that opposition stretch. Take 2 breaths here. Come back to center. We'll walk our hands to the left. Sit our right booty down. One more breath here. Come back to center. Try to press your hands into the floor and then send both of your hips back. Opposition stretch in child's pose. Try to release your head. Relax. Release your hands behind your back and interlace them for one more shoulder, chest stretch. Release your hands. Place your hands on your knees to help you come up slowly. And we'll come to our backs. Coming into our cool down, we'll lie on our backs. Circles to the left, to the right. Feet on the ground, hips width distance apart, 2 fists distance, place our hands on the ground, and we'll lift into bridge pose, squeezing our sit bones together, pushing our pelvis up, pushing our shoulders, our forearms, our hands, and our feet into the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower slowly to the ground. For our inversion, there's two options. You can take wheel pose, which looks like this. This is in honor of Tyler G, who always builds this into his practice. So you'll place your hands by your ears, and you lift up to a bridge pose. From here, you might come to your head, and then you might push into your hands, come into wheel pose, and try to stay here for 3 breaths. And for those who are not feeling wheel today, we're gonna take plow pose. So bringing your feet up to the sky, pressing your hands into the floor. We're gonna lift our hips up and maybe see if you can touch your feet to the ground. If not, that's okay. And then we'll place our hand on our lower back. We'll push into our hands and we will lift up into plow pose. Trying to create a straight line and listening to your body. When you're ready to come down, try to stay for 3 breaths, but slowly lower your feet down and then bring your hands to the ground. Slowly roll vertebrae by vertebrae to the ground. Bend your leg, rock from side to side. We'll take a figure, bringing our left knee over our right to figure 4 stretch. Your knee and interlace them. King side. Knees all the way over so they kiss and flex. And you can grab either foot, press into them, rocking back and forth. This is kind of like, this stretch is hard for me sitting, but on my back it's a little easier. Just have really tight hips. And then we'll come back into figure 4 stretch on this same leg. Just notice how it feels, if it feels any loose. And release our legs, cross our right heel on top of the thigh. Flex both of our feet to protect our knees. Open up this right knee. You can even press your right hand to your right knee if you want to open it a little bit more. Most important thing is to your chest. Keep flexed. Our knees all the way over, so the right knee is on top of the left. We'll flex our feet and we'll grab opposite. So my left hand is grabbing my right foot and my right hand is grabbing my left foot. And I'm pressing through my heels into the palms of my hands and rocking back and forth. Seeing how my time trying to lengthen my spine and my pelvis down to the ground. That's it. We'll come back into figure 4 on the right side and just notice how it feels after stretching out our glutes a little bit. And we'll baby. Self today, this is the time. And we'll lengthen in Shavasana. You can keep your legs bent if it feels better on your lower back, or you can lengthen your legs straight, reaching your shoulders back and down, coming into complete relaxation. Letting yourself just melt into your mat, giving your body a chance to feel the benefits of your practice and finding stillness. Noticing how your inhales and your exhales feel. And allow yourself to let go, and let go. Slowly deepen your breath. Come back to awareness. If you need more time in Shavasana, take it. If activities in your day are calling to you, slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe circle your ankles, circle your wrists. Reach your hands behind your head like you're waking up in the morning and stretching. Keeping your hands behind your head, bring your feet into your hips and roll over to your right side or left side, whatever you prefer. Coming into fetal position, taking a breath here. Push into the hand on the ground and come up to a comfortable seated position, either kneeling, if that's most comfortable, or cross-legged. We'll bring our hands onto our knees, and we'll take one more deep breath together, inhaling, bringing our arms up to the sky, exhaling, bringing our hands down to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Sending love and light from Cusco, and from Danny and me, and from Bethy. Love you guys.